Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Ronline Report. Today's guest is Vice President of the NPC, Head Olympia Judge, owner of the PowerHouse Gym in Syosset, New York, Steve Weinberger. How are you, Steve?
Good, Ron. How are you?
Good, good. You know, we're all doing as well as can be expected, I guess you could say.
Yes.
So that's where I want to start. Right now, everything is on hold. Sporting events, restaurants, gyms, everything. NPC and IFBB Pro League events. That's what I want to get into right now. What adjustments have you recently made as far as new dates for shows that you're promoting?
I pushed all our dates back.
Okay. So the New York Pro is now going to be September 5th.
Correct.
At the Marriott Glen Point, Teaneck, New Jersey.
Yes.
Boston Pro, a show I'm very, very much looking forward to, happened at the Encore Casino. That's now going to be November 27th and 28th.
Yes.
Which also added an NPC show to it fairly recently, I believe.
Yes.
And what is going on with the Jay Cutler Classic? Is that still right now looking for
June 27th?
Okay, so we're looking June 27th. Because I don't know what your state is saying, but Governor Charlie Baker here in Massachusetts, he pushed back the opening phase 1 open from May 4th to May 18th, which still puts us in a good spot as long as that happens, which, you know.
Worst comes to worst, we'll have to push it back again.
Right, right. I mean, you know, I think we'd all agree. I'd rather see all these shows happen toward the end of the year than not at all.
Yes.
Absolutely. In the universe, you're a very big national pro qualifying show. That is now happening in November also, right?
The weekend of the 14th.
Okay. So yeah, guys, got a lot of shows coming up to get ready for if you want to get ready for shows. So that's cool. You're in your gym right now, but there's probably nobody else in there, I'm guessing.
No, just me.
So you have been operating that particular gym since 1986, correct?
Correct.
And has anything ever shut it down before?
Never. This is the first time ever.
Yeah. So it
365 days.
That's what I was talking to Rick Collins a couple weeks ago.
And yeah, he's a great member. Rick's a great member.
He said, man, when Bev and Steve's gym shuts down, you know the world is topsy-turvy because that place never shuts down.
Never shuts down. This is horrible.
Yeah. So, you know, I imagine you're in there training. It's your gym. I would hope you're at least getting your own workouts in.
Yes.
Yeah. What's it like being in there with nobody else?
It's sad. I wish the gym was open and people were here. It's not fun training on your own in a big empty gym.
So, you know, you've a lot of these members, I'm sure you've known them for many, many years. Are they in touch with you, text message, messaging on social media, letting you know how they're doing and, you know, commiserating and hoping the gym can open up soon?
Yes, I keep in contact with a lot of them.
Yeah. You know, I think one good thing, I know it seems like it's a horrible situation we're in, but I think when we get back to real life, I think everyone's going to appreciate the gym so much more. Because I never, ever in my life thought there would not be a day I couldn't go to the gym if I wanted to go to the gym.
I know, it's just so crazy. Even going to get a cup of coffee, anything. It's just nuts. It's really, it's horrible.
Yeah. But I think on the upside, like I said, when we get back in the gym, whether it's your gym or any other gym, people are going to
appreciate it. Yes.
Everyone's going to treat the place like, you know, gold, basically. It's like you'll appreciate every little piece of equipment that you have there. You guys have some crazy equipment there. You got a full stock of amazing stuff there, but you'll appreciate that. Even the members, like I'm thinking, there's all these people I used to see every day and never even said hi to. I'm going to say hi to everybody from now on. Everybody, because you know I realized we all had that in common. We were all people that went to the gym and trained hard every damn day. So even if they were a stranger, they weren't really strangers.
No, they weren't. It's like a big family.
Exactly. We're talking about the states. New York State is going to be different opening time and that. But you know, as a gym owner, what do you think are some things that they might mandate as far as?
I don't know if they're going to mandate masks or gloves, but I mean, the place is going to have to be extremely, extremely very well sanitized.
Yeah, yeah.
As far very clean. I mean, that'll be the biggest thing, I think.
Do you think? I mean, I'm wondering, are they going to try to say that everyone has to be either 6 feet apart in the gyms, or only a certain amount of people allowed inside gyms based on square footage?
I think it's going to be both.
Both, huh? Yeah.
Once again, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Right, right. Now you have roughly how many square thousand feet?
30.
30. Okay, so that's a very large facility. Except for peak times, I'm sure it's doable. It's doable. Because we're thinking worst case scenario, if everybody wants to train at once, either you're gonna have to make appointments. Like I get these people signed up to train from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Or it'll be like a nightclub where they only let, there's like a velvet rope and a bouncer at the front.
I don't think I want a line outside the gym. I'd rather have a sign up than anything.
Yeah, yeah. Because it'd be rain, people out in the rain waiting, or people in the hot sun.
That'd be horrible.
Yeah, I was complaining about this on a video. I said, because we all time our workouts around meals, around pre-workouts and all that. When you get to the gym at 3 o'clock to train, you're ready to train at 3 o'clock.
Right. So you don't want to sit outside and wait 45 minutes.
Yeah. So I think the appointment thing, if that's the way it goes, I don't have a problem with that as a gym member. I don't think too many people. Like I said, we're going to be so grateful just to be able to get back into the gym and like, oh my God, look at that hammer strength. I missed that hammer strength. Oh, dumbbells are heavier than the 50s I have at home. Or, oh my God, a T-bar or a leg press. All this stuff that we're just missing so badly now.
Is that what you do, your training at home?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Haven't missed a beat. Skipping legs. No legs.
No legs? Okay.
A judge told me long ago not to train legs for a while, and I never listened. Maybe I should. So now I'm listening because of the quarantine. Because you remember Branch stopped training legs for like a year at one point?
Yes.
Flex Lewis did the same thing. Yeah, if you're bottom heavy, there is no men's wellness yet. So we'll get to wellness later. I want to get into judging because I've never had the chance to really talk to you. This is actually one of the only conversations we've ever had, like a name-death conversation. So contests, you've judged a lot of shows. If you had to take any kind of wild guess, how many contests do you think you've judged?
Oh, I don't know, but I've been very fortunate enough to be able to judge all around the world, and it's been a great run, having a great time, and I don't know what the number would be, to tell you the truth, but it's large.
It's a lot because I asked this about Tyler. How many weekends a year are you on the road? And he guesstimated it was something like between 30 and 35 weekends a row in a year.
So. Yes.
Yeah, it's got to be the same for you because
yes,
every show I go to, either you're head judging or you're head judging a show somewhere else the same day.
Right.
Pretty much. So it's contest season. You're work. Yeah, this must be kind of crazy for you not to be on the road all the time.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely surreal.
Yeah.
This whole thing is definitely crazy.
Yeah, the whole world. We're all going through this craziness together. At least that's one comforting fact. So I've often tried to figure out exactly what a head judge does. I think I have a pretty good idea, but can you explain what does a head judge do? Because you're the head Olympia judge at the biggest show in the world. You're head judge at many, many other shows. What does a head judge do?
A head judge calls all the quarter turns and all the mandatories.
Yeah.
Collects all the like when they come out and they do their quarter turns.
Yeah.
The other judges put a list together of who they like to see in the first call out, the second call out, the third call out, and so forth. And then I take them and I see which got the most votes for the first call out, the second call out, the third call out, to which then I call them out and I do the poses with them.
Okay. So there's a misconception, I think, that you have a vote, that you vote for the.
I do vote.
Oh, you do vote. Okay. So is there a standard number of judges, or is it different
Depends
sometimes?
On the show. Anywhere from like 12 to 7, depending on the size of the show.
Okay. And you're rotating judges because we have a lot of divisions to sit through these days too.
Yes.
So, okay. What do you find more challenging to judge? Regional shows, national shows, or pro shows, and why?
The local shows, honestly. The local shows, because it's such a big mix of what kind of competitors show up. Where regional shows, they're usually top guys getting ready to be pros, and pro shows, well, it's the best of the best, and those guys are all in great condition and great shape. Where on a local level, they're not sometimes in such great shape. They might have great shape, but they might not be in great shape. Right. And it's rough. What do you do with a guy that has great shape that's not in great condition, or a guy that has not horrible, but not the most pleasing shape, but in crazy condition? It's a scale you've got to look at.
Yeah, I've often felt that because I've been to tons and tons of regional shows, and usually the best person, the best one or two people in a group will stand out. So picking the winner isn't usually very difficult, but after that, it gets pretty challenging because, these are people that are still works in progress. They're still developing their physiques to try to get to the national level and hopefully the pro level. So you might have somebody that's, top heavy, or someone's bottom heavy, someone's missing one body part, or someone, like you said, has really great shape, good mass, but the condition is way off, or somebody else got really great condition, but is lacking in the mass. So I could see why you would say that. I always assumed you would say, the Arnold or the Olympia, because these guys are so good. They're so good.
They
Each
really
one.
are. But when you lay them out like the top 5 or the top 6,
Yeah.
and you start putting them through their poses, like a front double bicep, lat spread aside, it all comes apart there. You could really see. And that's why we do all of these poses, because you could really see who stands head and above the rest and who doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I've often said the first pose that you call the front double bicep, I think you can tell, you haven't seen the back of this person yet, but you can get a very, very good idea of where they're going to fall in the final standings based on how they compare in that one pose from my limited experiences.
Right. But once you turn to the back, usually shows a won and lost there.
Yeah. So is that because of development, or is it because of conditioning, or both?
Both.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say, would you agree that I always say great backs are the most rare thing in bodybuilding?
Yes. And then followed up by legs.
Yeah. Right. But, okay. This is one thing I check out the YouTube comments, the social media comments after every contest. There's all the Sunday morning and Monday morning quarterbacks, and they're always very critical. And they don't have a real sense. They don't really know what they're looking for, or looking at the way a judge does, or the way someone who's been around a long time and has that eye, who's been checking out these contests and physiques for many, many years. So give me an example. Men's open bodybuilding, which is the most popular division still. What are the factors you consider at when you're looking at these physiques on stage that determine where they're going to end up placing?
A lot of times we count down the poses, the mandatory poses. Who won the front double bicep? Who won the lat spread? Who won the side chest? And vice versa. And it could be maybe this guy won 3 poses. This guy was tied on this one. And that's really how we break it down a lot of times.
Yeah.
The mandatory poses.
Okay. Because, I try to explain the concept of a total package to people, because a lot of fans, and, it's their prerogative. They can be a fan of whoever they want, and they can root for whoever they want. That's a great thing. I'm glad all these guys have their own fan clubs or supporters. But I think a lot of them get focused on certain things like just mass, just conditioning, or just a couple freaky body parts, and they're not really seeing the big picture. And that's why they don't always understand where someone places.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Best example recently, a guy from France who's on the rise. He just made his pro debut. Morgan asked. A lot of his fans were very upset that he didn't place very highly. And, I tried to explain it in my limited way of doing it, but tremendous mass, huge guy. I think he was 310, 20 pounds, something
Real
up
tall,
there.
too. Real tall.
Yeah. Tall. And the conditioning was just insane on that guy.
He couldn't have been in better condition. Couldn't have been in better condition.
So if you have to explain, why didn't he beat, William Bonac? What do you tell somebody?
If you stand him next to William Bonac, you see William is very complete, full muscle bellies. This guy had a lot of muscle, but because he was so tall, he really spread out, and he didn't have large, full muscle bellies.
Yeah.
He needed more mass, honestly, which is hard to say on a 300-pound guy. But also, what was he, like 6'3"?
Yeah, he's 6'3".
Yeah, so I mean, it's hard when you're 6'3" to really get that compact, muscular look like a William Bonac, who's 5'7".
Yeah, on a good day. If I'm 5'7.5" now, because I'm shrinking, he's got to be about 5'6", maybe a little lower.
Okay, 5'6".
Yeah,
5'6" frame. I mean, it's rough.
Yeah.
That's where short bodybuilders have an advantage over tall bodybuilders.
Steve,
that guy was in tremendous condition.
What are you about, 6'3", 6'4"?
6'3".
Yeah. Wow. Were you taller when you were younger?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all were.
Too.
Everybody is, man. So talking about tough decisions, what's one show or anything that stands out in your mind as one of the toughest calls you've ever had to make? Because I can tell you, when I was at those Olympias, those years where it was Phil and Kai, I was throwing my hands up in the air. I said, I don't know what these judges are going to do, and I would not want to be a judge right now. They both look amazing.
That probably was the toughest, really. That was going back. Those were two of the most competitive guys one-on-one that we've seen in a while. I mean, Ronnie and Jay were pretty good, but Phil and Kai were very impressive. I think that's once again, we just kept, I don't know if you remember, we just kept posing them. And usually what happens is one guy hooks up and gets harder, and usually one guy falls apart and starts getting softer. And honestly, nobody was doing that. We just kept having to pose them. And then finally we just had to roll with what we had.
Right. Yeah. The longest, I'm going to try to see if you can top this. The longest I've seen you work two guys for the win in recent years that I can remember was 2018, Sergio Oliva and Alexis Rivera at the Tampa Pro. Because, man, they were neck and neck. They both looked incredible.
It was the same situation with Kai and Phil. It really was. I mean, that's when you just got to let them pose it out. Just like a fighter in the 12th round, just let them fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some guy's going to stand and some guy's going to go down. And that's usually the way it is.
Yeah. Well, the crowd ate it up. The crowd loved it. You saw
Honestly,
that.
It's very exciting. I love it too. You know what I mean? Let's see who's going to step up and who's going to take this.
Yeah. I mean, you're still a fan. You have to be a fan to be able to do this.
If I wouldn't be doing this.
Right. Honestly. So, you must like watching. I prefer shows where it's very, very close, where you don't know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's very exciting to crown a new Mr. Olympia or a new Honor Classic champion. It's really something. And if we have the Rock show coming up, that's going to be real exciting too.
Athleticon,
I don't know. I get a thrill out of it. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't, you would have stopped doing this a long time ago.
I'd be gone.
So let's talk about divisions, because we both started out many years ago when it was just bodybuilding, men's bodybuilding, women's bodybuilding. That was all we had. And then we had fitness and figure and things. Now we have 9 full divisions, including wellness, which we'll get to in a second. But has it been a challenge as each new division has been introduced, where you need to set the standards so the athletes have a really good grasp of what you guys are looking for?
No, we kind of have the rules all set for us before that division begins, and we know what to follow and what not to follow. And it's exciting when we add a new division. You know what I mean? It gives athletes another avenue to go on when they don't want to look a certain way.
Yeah. Well, two things I want to say about that. I've opposed adding new divisions in the past until I finally came to the realization that it's grown the sport so much, and I don't know how the sport what kind of shape this sport would be in if we had just stuck with men's and women's bodybuilding. I know it wouldn't be as large as it is right now. We wouldn't have all these competitors. We wouldn't have all these contests. It just wouldn't be possible. It was not sustainable to be just bodybuilding. So I finally came around.
I'm glad you came around.
I had to. I have no choice. But you got to either adapt or get out of the business.
Right. Leave.
So wellness is definitely something everyone's talking about. It's the newest division. Yes. In the United States. It was just added to NPC Worldwide and IFBB Pro League this year. It's been very popular in Latin America for a long time, especially Brazil. I think Brazil, I want to say they pioneered it. I'm not sure if they did.
Yes, but it started in Brazil.
So a lot of people are going to ask, they're still asking, what is wellness? How is it different from other divisions? What does a wellness athlete look like?
A wellness athlete is a bikini woman with much more muscular legs and glutes. And that's pretty much it. It's a very, very exotic look.
Yeah. One of the reasons I'm kind of bummed about this contest season being put on hold is this is when we would have been seeing a lot of wellness shows by now. We would have seen that division several times at bigger shows by now. Even I think Junior USA would have happened by now at this point. Yes. So we would have had a couple new wellness pros even by now. But it's the world is doing what it's doing, and we gotta wait and see. I know people always get very critical of judging, especially, like I said, if they're fans and they don't have a real good grasp of what the criteria the judges are looking for. Would you recommend that these people try to judge a contest themselves?
Yeah, they sit in the audience and pick out their best and judge them and see where they fall on it when the show's over.
Yeah,
I think judging in the audience is a great way to start.
Yeah, because it is harder than it looks. I got to tell that to people.
And you're not judging your favorites. You got to sit there and think, maybe Phil's my favorite or whoever, but let me see what they look like today and what place they should be in without showing any favoritism towards anybody. That's what you have to do. You've got to be a clean slate and not be a fan. Be a very biased situation. That's the way to sit down and figure that out.
Yeah. I could say I used to judge the Muscle Beach contest, which is completely unaffiliated with anybody or anything. I think it's put on by City of Los Angeles Parks and Recreation Department. So when I lived out there, and my younger brother competed once, and where did I place him, Steve? Dead last, because that's what he deserved. I love him. I love him, but that's what he deserved. 6 or 8 guys in the division. Sorry, kid, you're not there yet.
And that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't do it
maybe one day
anyway.
he'll deserve to win, and you put him in first too. But you've got to be able to stand by your decision, explain it, and stand by it.
Yeah, and you've been called upon to do that a few times in videos and interviews.
I have no problem doing it. If I'm judging, I feel it's my responsibility.
Yeah, I liked one of my favorite videos, and I'm not going to plug a competitor, so I won't say who it was, but they did a video with Kai where he came into this office, I think it was, and he wanted to know why he didn't win or something, and you sat there and rationally explained.
Right. And it's hard because I mean they feel that they're the winners, and a lot of people are telling them they should have won, but it's hard to sit down and it's just, I don't know. It's a difficult situation sometimes. Sometimes they don't want to hear it. Yeah. Fortunately, Kai came in with an open mind and he did want to hear it.
Yeah.
Wasn't happy with the answers, but he did want to hear it.
Yeah.
I mean, Kai is a great competitor.
Yeah, and you're also very well known that if people want to get a very honest appraisal of their physique, what they need to work on, if they're ready for a particular show, you tell them, and you don't mince words.
That's the only way to be. I mean, what am I going to tell someone? They look great, then they do the show and they come in 5th, and they want to know why they came in 5th and didn't win. You told me I was ready to go, and I mean, it's just you're playing a game with them, and it's just not fair.
Yeah, yeah. My good friend Jose Raymond, he's given you a lot of credit for telling him, do this, don't do that.
Jose is a great competitor, and Jose listens, and Jose takes it very seriously. I mean, Jose's been around for over 20 years. He's a monster. He really is. He's a real class act and a monster.
Yeah, and he might make a comeback. We'll see. We'll see how he's feeling. He's thinking about it. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. So I want to end up with a lot of guys and girls out there, competitors, aspiring competitors. They want to keep up. They want to know, how do I keep track of schedules, postponements, new dates for shows? Where would you recommend that they go?
NPCnewsonline.com.
Yeah.
Or BevFrancis.com too. Okay. But NPC News has it all over the world. Everything.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah. And for my neck of the woods, the people in Northeast United States, NPCNortheast.com specializes in all the shows in our little up and down the East Coast. So cool. Well, Steve, I thank you so much for taking the time and coming in to the gym on I don't know if it's rainy out there. It's a rainy day here in Boston. Yeah, man, this weather, man, it's not making things any better. But let's hope this all turns around fast. Let's hope New York opens up, Massachusetts, the whole country, the United States, the whole world, and international travel gets back, and let's just get back to real life, man. This is
I'm ready.
This has been interesting, but I'm done. Cool. Well, again, thank you, Steve, and everybody. Thanks for watching the Ronline Report with Steve Weinberger. We'll see you next time.